Alright guys, got a lot of Ring of Honor TV reviews here. Like 9 I think. So I may actually have to split this video up into 2 parts depending on how long it is. In fact, I have so many, I still have 4 on the DVR, but I watched 5 of them. 5 hours of this. So I'm going to try to at least get this video up and then do the rest later. So, the February 1st show starts with Hanson versus Andrew Everett. I like this. I like Hanson. I think he's the shit. And Hanson's big ass goes for a dive and misses. Everett goes for a springboard, gets caught with the spinning heel kick. Hanson gets the win. Enjoyed this match here. Then Michael Bennett and Maria come out. Maria says that she's not mad that Kevin Steen hit a girl. She's mad that he won. And she says that Kevin Steen may have taken the pile driver away, but Michael Bennett has come up with a new finisher that's even better. This leads to Michael Bennett versus Cedric Alexander. Cedric jumps over Maria to dive onto Michael Bennett. And this was awesome. Cedric was awesome here. I think everybody knows how great Cedric Alexander is now. Maria distracts Cedric. Bennett gets him in his new finisher, the Anaconda Vice. Okay. And Cedric taps. So Bennett gets the win here, but they had a good match. Then it's AJ Styles versus Roderick Strong. This was AJ's big return match. He got a great reaction. I thought this was awesome. This was a really good match. I watched it twice actually. And AJ goes for the Styles Clash. Roderick Strong instinctively tucks his head. So it was a botched Styles Clash, and those are always extremely dangerous. Roderick was injured in this match, but he's fine now. And AJ gets the win, and the Decade runs out and attacks AJ. And Hero, Elgin, Lethal, Mark Briscoe, a bunch of guys run out and scare the Decade off. The February 8th show starts with Tadarius Thomas and ACH versus Jimmy Jacobs and BJ Whitmer of the Decade. And this was a pretty good match. Tadarius Thomas and ACH were great here. Actually, all 4 guys worked very well in this match. And the Decade hits the All-Seeing Eye, which is like a double-team dominator type move for the win. Then it's Raymond Rowe versus Hanson in the Top Prospect Finals. And this was a good hard-hitting match. Hanson hits the spinning heel kick for the win. And they shake hands afterwards. And now apparently they're a tag team. I haven't seen the last 4 episodes of the show, but just going to the Ring of Honor website and looking at the cards for some of the shows, I have seen that Hanson and Raymond Rowe have been teaming together. And I'm just a little curious what the actual prize is for winning the Top Prospect Tournament. Is it just the prestige of the tournament, or is it like a contract? Because I could have swore that at one point they said Hanson gets a contract for winning this match. But every single person in this tournament continues to wrestle. In fact, I think Andrew Everett has had more matches than Hanson. Backstage, we see the romantic touch hitting on Veda Scott. The Matt Taven comes out, and he leaves the Hoopla Hotties, Scarlett and Silesia, behind, but they just follow him out anyway. And I'm glad to see Silesia back. I would actually like to see them bring back the Women of Honor matches and put Silesia in there. But Taven is out there with the Hoopla Hotties. He's trying to ignore them. Truth Martini comes out, and Taven says that he's done. He's done with all of this. And Truth tells the Floozies to go to the back, and he says the Hoopla is dead. Basically saying, okay, he doesn't want you guys, but he still wants me out here, right? And Taven says, look, I outgrew you a long time ago. I don't need you anymore. And he fires Truth Martini. So then it's Taven versus Ciampa versus Lethal for the TV title. And Truth comes back out to do commentary. And he says, Matt Taven did not fire me. He's just a little upset right now. And eventually he slides the Book of Truth into Taven. Taven slides it back out to him, and Truth gets on the apron. Lethal drop kicks Taven into Truth, and then Truth, I guess he thought Taven did that intentionally, So he trips Taven, and Taven gets hit with Project Ciampa, and Ciampa gets the win. And that was pretty much it. It was a decent triple threat match. Not sure what's going to happen with this whole Matt Taven Truth Martini thing, but I do like the House of Truth. I don't want to see it go away. So hopefully he gets like some new monster to take out Matt Taven for leaving the House of Truth. February 15th. It's the Romantic Touch versus Michael Bennett. I like this. I know a lot of people don't really care for Michael Bennett, but I like Michael Bennett. I think he's good, and I like the Romantic Touch. They did a lot of spots with the Romantic Touch of Maria here. She gets on the apron to try and distract him. He brings her some chocolates, and she throws them in his face, and then Bennett makes him tap to the Anaconda Vice. But this was good. The main event is Michael Elgin and Chris Hero versus the Briscoe Brothers versus Adam Cole and Matt Hardy in a tag team elimination match. And whoever pins Adam Cole, if they can pin Cole or make him submit, they get a future title shot. And Cole and Hardy are trying to stay out of the match. Whenever someone goes to tag them in, they just jump off the apron. But eventually they get involved. Cole super kicks Mark Briscoe. Hardy hits him with the Twist of Fate, and they eliminate the Briscoe Brothers. Then Chris Hero hits the rolling elbow on Adam Cole to the back of his head, and he wins the match. So it's Hero getting the future title shot. Afterwards, Hardy tries to attack Hero. Elgin suplexes Hardy, and then Chris Hero hits another rolling elbow on Adam Cole, and that was the end of the show. And this match, I thought the match was good. All these guys worked very well together, including Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy got a ton of heat, so he definitely brought that to the match. It was good, but this was still a two-match show. And this main event was very long, and I felt that it definitely dragged in some parts. February 22nd, Andrew Everett versus Cedric Alexander. I thought this was a good, fast-paced match. A lot of flips here, obviously. And Andrew Everett goes for, I think, a 630, and Cedric gets the knees up, and then he follows up with the backbreaker. So Cedric gets the win here. And then afterwards, Roderick Strong throws a water bottle at him. So they're setting up this feud between Roderick Strong and Cedric Alexander. The main event is Kevin Steen versus Kyle O'Reilly. So this was another two-match show here, but I thought this was really good. Kevin Steen does some funny spots with the rope. And he's talking about how the rope saves him. So whenever Kyle O'Reilly does something to him, like an arm bar, he just grabs the rope. And later on, Steen hits the package pile driver, and O'Reilly gets a foot on the rope. So the rope saves O'Reilly. I thought that was a nice touch. Eventually, we see Cliff Compton in the crowd. And he's yelling stuff at Kevin Steen. This distracts Steen. O'Reilly gets him in the arm bar, and Steen powers out and gets O'Reilly in the sharpshooter, and O'Reilly taps. So Steen wins the match. Then afterwards, he's calling Cliff Compton into the ring. So Compton jumps over the barricade, and security's trying to hold him back. The ref is trying to hold Kevin Steen back, and then Steen F5s the referee, and Compton's fighting off security. So they get in the ring, and then Steen just beats the shit out of Cliff Compton. He beats the hell out of this guy. Why would you want to see Cliff Compton versus Kevin Steen now? I mean, Steen completely destroyed him here. So they fight all over the place. Steen's kicking his ass. He's going to put him through a table. Security tries to stop it, and this gives Compton enough time to low blow Steen. He puts Steen on the table and splashes him off the top rope. So that was the end of the show. And like I said, it was a two-match show, but I thought this one was pretty good. I liked both matches here. March 1st is the 12th anniversary Road Rage. So Michael Elgin comes out, and he says that he's supposed to face Matt Hardy. Well, Hardy's flight got canceled or something, and he says that he's really just afraid of him. So he calls out Raymond Rowe. He wants to face Rowe to give him an opportunity. So they have a match, and it was alright. It was hard-hitting. Elgin hits the spinning powerbomb for the win. Then afterwards, Adam Cole runs out to hit Elgin with the title. Rowe grabs the title from him, and Elgin grabs Cole. He's about to powerbomb him, and then Michael Bennett runs out, low blows Elgin. Cole and Bennett put the boots to him, and then Jay Briscoe runs out to chase Adam Cole away. Nigel McGuinness gives Jay Briscoe a match against Michael Bennett, and I thought they had a good match here. Cole runs out, so Bennett low blows Jay, and then Maria gets on the apron, and while the referee's dealing with her, Jay low blows Bennett, hits the Jay Driller, gets the win. Then the main event is AJ Styles versus Jay Lethal. This was a really good match, but AJ versus Roderick Strong was still better in my opinion. This was still very good in its own right though, and AJ ends up countering the Lethal Injection with the Styles Clash for the win. March 8th is more from the 12th anniversary show. It starts with Matt Taven versus Silas Young. Truth is on commentary, and Taven hits the Frog Splash for the win. It was a decent match. I didn't really care about this one. I didn't really care about Matt Taven versus Silas Young. And afterwards, Silas Young attacks Matt Taven, and Truth goes to shake Silas's hand, I guess trying to get him to join the House of Truth, and Silas just walks off. He refuses. Then it's Tommaso Ciampa versus Hanson for the TV title. You remember when Tommaso Ciampa's the band that plays his entrance music played live and they played him to the ring? That was terrible. But anyways, Hanson busts out a cartwheel in this match and a moonsault. The guy is awesome, but ultimately Ciampa hits Project Ciampa for the win. But this was a good match. Chris Hero versus Adam Cole for the world title. This was a good match. I don't know what the hell happened here, but Cole goes to pin Hero and Hero kicks out, and then people just start laughing at him. This was awesome, and they continue to laugh at him whenever he does the Adam Cole baby or anything like that. People just laugh, and Cole gets pissed off. It was awesome stuff, and Cole hits this weird DDT move that I've never seen before. Chris Hero is on the apron. Cole's in the ring, so Hero, I guess, goes to shoulder block him through the ropes like he's gonna then do a sunset flip over him or something like that. But he tries to pick Cole up, and then Cole just drops on his ass, slamming Hero's head into the mat. It was crazy. Just a very cool looking move here. And eventually the ref takes a bump. Hero makes Cole tap out, but of course the ref doesn't see it. Then Cole hits 3 Florida Keys on Hero and finally gets the win. But this was a good match. The crowd was really into this one, and Adam Cole is a great heel. The March 15th show starts with Team Benchmark, a guy named 989 and Will Ferrara versus Hanson and Raymond Rowe. So you got two guys that are basically jobbers. The fans were chanting, "Kill the jobbers" here. And eventually Rowe hits the knee to the back of the head on Ferrara for the win. And Michael Elgin comes out, and he puts these guys over. He says that Hanson and Raymond Rowe have earned his respect, and that he has their back, but he needs them to have his back as well. So you see Hanson, Elgin, and Raymond Rowe standing together, and this was really cool because this is like a monster trio. These guys are all huge, and this is a badass force right here. Then Kevin Steen comes out. He gets interrupted by Outlaw Inc. Outlaw Inc. Honestly, Chikara's back. Eddie Kingston can go home now, and Homicide just needs to find another job, I think. It's just... Outlaw Inc. does nothing for me after that terrible match at Final Battle. My God. That just left a really bad taste in my mouth for anything these guys do going forward. So what happens here? They ask Steen to join Outlaw Inc. and he refuses, so Eddie Kingston attacks Kevin Steen. And Homicide is like, "Hey man, what's going on here?" And he doesn't even attack Steen, but Steen pushes him. Okay, so Nigel McGuinness comes out. He says, "You two want to go? You can have a match against Kevin Steen. One of you two guys versus Kevin Steen." And when it comes back from commercial, it's Homicide versus Kevin Steen. That doesn't even make any sense. And it gets worse. However, Homicide and Steen did have a decent match up until the finish, where Kingston attacks Steen again, so he gets Homicide disqualified. And then Kingston and Homicide are beating down Steen. They grab the ring bell, they're attacking him with it. Then Cliff Compton runs out with a chair and chases Outlaw Inc. off to protect Kevin Steen. What the fuck is going on here? Nigel McGuinness is talking about the Supercard of Honor show, and Jay Briscoe comes out. He says he's the real champion. Nigel makes the ladder war match for Supercard. I'm still pissed I can't make that show to actually see a ladder war match in person. But Adam Cole comes out. He's upset about this, obviously. And while he's talking to Jay, Michael Bennett runs out, low blows Jay Briscoe. Cole and Bennett put the boots to him. Then Mark Briscoe runs out with a chair to chase them off. Then the main event is Jay Lethal versus Tommaso Ciampa for the TV title. This was a good match. I know it was a good match. But I've seen it. I've seen it too many times. These guys have already feuded, and now they're doing a whole nother series of matches with Ciampa and Lethal. I don't want to see this again. That's just how I feel about it. Taven was on commentary. Truth Martini comes out. They start fighting. Lethal rolls up Ciampa, but the ref's distracted by the fighting on the outside. And then Ciampa hits Project Ciampa for the win. So that was pretty much it. I actually thought for a second maybe Ciampa is secretly working with Truth, but that would really make no sense. Ring of Honor has this new opening where it shows guys like Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, and it says creating excellence. And I think this is a really cool thing they're doing because they own this footage. Why not use it? Then we get Decade versus Tadarius Thomas, ACH, and Andrew Everett. And I noticed that the Decade's theme song is called Emo Farm. But this match got good when all the young guys started hitting dives all over the place. But other than that, I didn't really care about this one. It wasn't that it was really bad or anything. I just do not care about the Decade whatsoever. They do nothing for me. And eventually, Roderick Strong hits the suplex into the backbreaker on Andrew Everett, I believe, for the win. The Romantic Touch versus R.D. Evans and his streak, which is now 40-0. Oh man, this was so good. So Romantic Touch ends up chasing Veda Scott under the ring. And this cost him the match because he loses by countout. R.D. Evans retains the streak, and Veda Scott runs out from under the ring, and then Romantic Touch comes out and he's smoking a cigarette. Oh, this was fucking awesome. This was just great, great stuff. So R.D. Evans retains the streak. He's talking about how he's 41-0. Then Silas Young comes out, and I think R.D. Evans said something about how he's a real man. So Silas hears this, and something pops in him. If anybody mentions a real man, he's got to come out. So he comes out pissed. He's got the strap. He's like, somebody say something about a real man. And it's just funny how that's like a Silas Young call. Just say real man and you're going to get Silas Young. Then we get the fish tank with Red Dragon. It's supposed to be like Miz TV or Piper's Pit. And this was also great. So they have Cheeseburger on as a guest and they beat him up. And it was just fantastic. Cedric Alexander versus Adam Page. Roderick Strong is on commentary. Cedric hits the backbreaker for the win. Match I didn't really care for. I like Cedric Alexander, and Adam Page is improving, but this match just wasn't very good. I just kind of thought it was boring, honestly. And afterwards, Roderick Strong is talking shit to Cedric and Page. That's really all that happened there. Then it's Adam Cole and Michael Bennett versus the Briscoe brothers. Bennett spears Mark Briscoe off the apron through a table on the outside. Jay and Cole go at it. Jay eventually hits the Jay Driller for the win. It was a fun, fast-paced match, and that was the end of the show. There's a couple of weird things I wanted to mention that I noticed after this show. And there's nothing really wrong with these things. They're just kind of weird. And one of them is Steve Corino and why he is only a heel announcer when Adam Cole or Matt Hardy are in the ring. I mean, that's like the only time he's a heel. If it's the Decade or another heel group, he doesn't agree with what they're doing. But Cole or Hardy, he's like all over them. And just shitting on whatever babyface they're facing at the time. And it's funny. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of weird. And the other thing is why Adam Cole is now with Michael Bennett. And the only thing I can come up with to explain this is Matt Hardy is supposed to be with Adam Cole, but he can't work every show. So in the meantime, they just kind of stick him with Michael Bennett so he has someone to interfere in his matches when Hardy can't be there. Which is fine. I like Michael Bennett, and I think it's going to help him to be with Adam Cole, but at the same time, it's like, is Bennett going to get pushed aside when Hardy returns, or is it going to be like a huge group? And finally, the last show from March 29th, Brutal Burgers, Brutal Bob and Cheeseburger versus Red Dragon. I did not care for this at all. Hanson and Raymond Rowe come out to watch the tag team champions sell for Cheeseburger. This is shit. And eventually Red Dragon hits Chasing the Dragon on Cheeseburger for the win, but this match went like 10 minutes. Just, I don't know what they were thinking with this. Then we see a video of how Outlaw Inc. attacked Cliff Compton, and that's why he ran out to help Kevin Steen, which still doesn't make any sense because he could have attacked Steen at the same time. I don't know, but then they show an awesome video hyping up the Japanese guys they're bringing in for the Global Wars and War of the Worlds shows they're doing. They show this commercial for J.G. Wentworth with Jay Lethal, and I love how Jay Lethal cuts his commercial promos just like the Macho Man. I don't know if he's doing that on purpose or what, but that's exactly who he's acting like. The main event, another two-match show here, is Michael Elgin versus AJ Styles. A very long match. It was good, but I still prefer the AJ Roderick Strong match, even with that botched finish where he damn near killed Roderick Strong. Like I said before, it was not AJ's fault or anything, but there was a botched finish there. But there was something funny in this match. Elgin gets AJ in a headlock, and in the background you can see Kerry Silken just let out a massive yawn, just something like that. It made me laugh my ass off. But Elgin hits a tombstone on AJ, and they're talking about how Elgin injured his left knee. He possibly hyperextended the knee, and then later on AJ gets the calf killer on the left leg. I thought that was a nice touch by these guys. AJ goes for the springboard 450, and this was botched. He lands on Elgin with his legs. That had to hurt like hell, and eventually time expires. This was a 30-minute match. Time expires. So both guys want to continue wrestling. Adam Cole doesn't want this, so he runs in and lays them both out with the title, and then he gets chased off by Jay Briscoe and Kevin Steen. And that was the end of the show. So I'm finally caught up on all the Ring of Honor shows. I know this video is very long, and I was actually going to split it up into parts, but then I was thinking some people really like the long videos, and it's not like I do these all the time, videos that are really long, so I figured, you know what, I'm just going to upload this in one part. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to the Ring of Honor TV taping on Saturday, so I definitely wanted to get this up before then, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it. So leave your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.